Hello everyone and welcome back to Orange Studios. In today's tutorial we're going to try and do something around the 65th independence celebration in Ghana. And this is how the flyer is going to look like. Okay, so today the tutorial is going to focus on the text manipulation. So we are going to look at how to go around working on the 65 and working around it. And to do that we'll be using the Adobe Illustrator program. I'll be mentioning the name of the text we are going to use, or the font's name. So now we are using the font called Naluka Regular. So we type in 65. Now you right click on the text and select this, create outline. So you are going to select this, create outline. Now what that means is that now the text has moved away from being a text or a font to shape. So we have just converted it to shapes. You would also want to right click again and ungroup so that we can handle them individually. Control Z to undo the move. Now we want to activate the direct select tool, and the shortcut key is A. So you hit on A, select a point. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit on A, select a point, and I can drag this pointer here. I can drag this kind of a point here, this node or not here, and then drag it this way to form the curve at the edge. That's why we converted it to shape, so we can have this effect on it. The other thing is that I can just select it, and then once it's selected, I'll move to properties, come over here to corners, and then it's now set to 0. Then hit, let's say, 7 and enter. So we are giving the curve, and I'm going to do that to all the angles I want to curve, as you saw in the preview. But again, like I said, you can actually select one like this and drag, and then you have it done. But because I want to have the same kind of curve, the same amount of curve everywhere, so I'll just select a node or an anchor point and then hit the angle of curve, or the side of the curve that I'm looking for. Now I'm going to do same here again. So that's it. A few more touches and then we'll be done with the text. So you realize that there's some anchor points here. I want to move this here, but you see this, it's giving me this effect, which of course we don't want. So I'm going to undo that. What I can do to correct that is select this anchor point and then delete anchor point or remove anchor point. So select this again. Let me undo and then zoom in for you to see what I'm talking about. So this, select it and then hit on remove anchor point. This, remove anchor point, and then you're going to select this whole thing. So select all the anchor points at the edge, and then we are going to move it. So it's moved here. You can hit on shift so that you have stable movement. This is okay. Now we're going to type out the word TH. So yeah, that's how we go about manipulating the text. So the next thing you probably noticed in the preview was that there was some scribbles around the text, and then it was making it look good. So now this is done using the Wacom tablet, but you can go around it using just the regular mouse. It's quite difficult using the mouse, but we are going to give it a try, and then you see how it goes. So first of all, let's select all of this, just group it, that's fine. And then I can draw another shape. This time I'll not use the fill, I'll use the outline. So I'm going to draw another shape using the outline. So you change it from fill to outline and then draw the shape. Now I am drawing the shape because I want it to guide my scribbles. So hit B to bring out the brush tool, and you can now try painting. So you are using this to guide yourself. And feel free, it shouldn't look just like you saw it in the tutorial. That's not how it's supposed to be every time. I just do something and I feel like, okay, let me do it this way, it will help. So you can just take your time, do this. Or if you get one that is perfect, you just select it and then duplicate it around. So Control C, Control F to put it at the same spot. You just turn it around or just change the angle. Let's zoom in to make it easier. So select, change the angle, move it around. That's if you have had one that is, looks like what you want to use, that looks perfect to you. So now you can also select the anchor points and then move them around. Yeah, so that's about that. I'll speed it up from here and then you catch me up later. But let's do one more thing. There were some that looked a bit ragged. So with that same thing, pen tool, and then you just move your pen in the fast motion. Now this doesn't look like what I did, but this looks good. You can use it if you want to. You can also try again the brush tool and just scribble and get some shapes, all around. Then when you are done, you can just pick them up like this and then change the color to whichever color you want, maybe this or that, because it's red, gold, green. You can pick this. You are done with this, pick all of these. Let's now take this out because we don't need it. Select all of this, change the color. You can choose red if you want to use red. So basically that's how it's done. Alright, so now we are going to take a look at how I went about applying some effects on this image that made it look like as though it was sketched out or painted out. So just a little effect, not something extraordinary. Watch along. I'm just going to create, select this thing out of the background. So select, select subject. It's going to do a fine job by selecting around the subject, and that's fine. So you can just add details by just selecting the, sorry, not this one, quick selection, and then just add more. Let's increase the size of the brush and then hit on Alt to subtract this side out. Control J to duplicate this image out of the main image. That's it. It has been duplicated out. Now there's another way of going around it. By using the lasso tool, the pen tool and all that, but this is easy and quick. So I'm going to use the lasso tool or polygonal lasso tool. Just select and then cut it out. Okay, so now that the selection is done, I'm just going to apply some little effects, and I will now move over here. I'll move over here, select this, and then select posterize. Yes, so you realize that it gives it this cartoonish, distorts the image. Let's put it that way. But the best thing I should have done was to, first of all, let me take this off. Okay, let me delete it. Now bring it back. Move to image, and then adjustment, black and white. No, image, adjustments, black and white, and default is okay. Now this will now help me apply the posterize and get the effect I had in the preview. So I'm just going to adjust this levels here. Yes, and then make sure it is clipped to this image. I can just put this whole thing in a group, duplicate Ctrl J, and then convert this to a smart object. And then I'm going to change the blend mode so that it looks something more okay than it is now. So that's fine. Color dodge is okay. And then I'm going to reduce the opacity so that it doesn't make it too loud. I can also do something here. Control J to duplicate this once again. Increase the opacity, turn all of this off so that you see what is happening. So again, filter, other, hypers. Then realize that it gives it this by heart look. It looks weird, but what it does is that it helps you define your edges and make some sides harder or softer depending on how you increase it. So let me bring it down here. This should be okay. And then I am going to convert all of that. Convert this to something like this. Yep, something like this. An overlay would have been okay, but linear pin light is okay. So it gives you the hard edge. Now I can reduce the opacity on this. So it just gives it a hard edge. Let me zoom in so that you see the effect. So with this, without it, with this, without it. So pay attention to, let's say, this area. When I apply it, you realize it becomes sharper, goes off sharper. So that's basically it. And this is it. Alright, so with that done, we are moving straight into designing the flyer. And as usual, we're going to create a new document. Ctrl+N to bring it out. I think everything here is okay. So okay. And then we'll just drag and drop our element and our flyer is done. So the first thing I'm going to do is to drag in my element. I'm going to use this as the background. So I'm dropping it here. This is an image you can just get on Google, vector landscape and all that, and it's available. But I'll make it available in the description, in the link in the description. So just applied a layer mask to it. Then I'm going to make sure the foreground color is set to black. Then the opacity, adjust it, and then erase. That's cool. And one more thing, I want to convert this to black and white. So like we did earlier, image, adjustments, and black and white. This is okay. And then I'm going to draw a shape over here. So you to bring out the shape tool, or just come over here and click. Alright, so now I'm going to drop the black star square in here. Drop it down here, take it below this, and then drag it down here. So we are almost done. Make sure it's centered, and that's it. Okay, so I'm going to drop what next? Drop the birds PNG. You realize I had some birds in the preview, so just going to drop this here. So the 65th thing we edited in Illustrator is here. Just drag it up here. Let's take it somewhere in the middle of the star. And then if you observed, there was something like independence there. So 65th independence. And then we are going to use the same font, Naluka. Yep. Let's drag this here. Take it up. Alright, so the next thing is to add the anniversary, and that will be simple. So what I'm going to do now is to bring this up, apply some stroke, double click on the right side, apply stroke. We are going to make the stroke outside, change the color to white, and that's fine. Let's bring this above the anniversary. Okay, so this is cool. Now what I'm going to do is to duplicate this and then change their colors. So Control J, just a little, turn it a little, not too much. Change the color to say red. You can also pick a color from here. You're good. Do same again. Okay, so we are going to add the last and final element. Where's the save up? Just drop it in there. Let's bring it this way. Alright, so at this point you can add all other handles you want to add if you want to. Let's make this white so we can see what we are doing. And then let's be sure it's here. What we want to do is to change this to, let's say, regular, medium. Well, that's if you want to have some social media handles listed here. If not, there's another option. Just add some more elements and that will be fine. Okay, so let's drop this in here. Drag it down here. Give it a color overlay. We are good. So that's about that. You can choose to play around it, add more elements if you want. You can drop your logo up here. Okay, so there we go. This brings us to the end of today's tutorial. I hope it was very helpful. If it was, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you are not already subscribed to this channel. And if you have any question, kindly leave that in the comment section and I'll respond. Have a good time.